Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. So I'm really excited to do this reading today because it's one that I have been promising you all for a while. Basically this is the start of a series of readings. It's not going to be all one after another, so there are going to be breaks in the series just like with the fairy tale series, but this is the start of a series of readings based on elementals. So as you can see, we've got one pile for every element today, and this is going to be the August 2020 general predictions reading. I will also do a love predictions reading. I don't think I'm going to make that an elemental reading just because I plan to do an elemental love messages reading that isn't, it's timeless, so it's not going to be connected specifically to August. But this is the one that we're doing today. I'm sorry if you hear like banging or shouting in the background because next door are doing some renovation work and they're having no respect for their neighbours at all. They're just shouting at full blast and banging and drilling at all hours of the day. So I'm sorry if you hear that in the background. I also want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons, everyone who's supporting me on there, including Alex, Alexandra, Kat, Ashley, Jeanette and Kelly. Thank you so much for your support. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you each of the piles and I'm going to give you a choice as to how you do this. You can either choose the pile that you're intuitively drawn towards, like a regular pick a card, or you can choose your sun sign if it's an earth sign, water sign, air sign or fire sign, or you can choose your moon sign, your rising sign, whatever works best for you. It's fine to pick more than one pile as well, but I'm going to show you these cards that I've put on top. So we've got pile 1 is earth. This kind of dry soil. So if you are going by your zodiac sign, whichever one you're choosing, then this will be Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn. The water pile number 2. So zodiac signs will be Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. And there are differences in the cards that I'm using in the piles because obviously I have certain cards that have certain elementals on them, like I have gnome cards for the earth pile, I have a lot of merfolk cards, I have dragon cards, fairy cards, etc. So there will be some differences in the decks used. Pile 3 is air, so this would be Gemini, Libra and Aquarius. And pile 4 is fire, so Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. So whichever way you want to do it, I've decided I'm not going to tell you which way you have to do it because some people will want to do it in different ways and there's no right or wrong here. Just go with whichever way seems best for you. You can choose whichever zodiac sign you resonate with the most out of your main 3 signs, or you can just choose intuitively whichever one you prefer to do it, whichever way you prefer. Also, if you're new to my channel, I do pick a card readings here, but make sure that you stick around to get your full reading because we don't just do cards. On this channel, we do charms and dice as well, and as you can see, we've got so many cards today. I can't believe how many I used. I was shuffling for quite a long time. Anyone who wants to book a private reading, the link to my Etsy page is in the description box. I also have a link to my Patreon page and my PayPal link for donations and tips. That's ways that you can help out the channel. I also have a tarot wish list on Amazon. All of the links are in the description box, and I've also listed all of the decks that I've used today. That's at the bottom of the description box. So if you're ever interested in anything that I use in a reading, or if you want to find out more information about this reading in particular, always look in the description box because I always do a little write-up explaining the reading and also listing all of the decks that I use. So you can take as much time as you need. You can pause the video if you need to. Take a deep breath in and out and just go with wherever you're feeling intuitively drawn or which zodiac sign you feel represents you the most out of your main signs. And I'm going to start with pile number 1. Hey there everyone who chose pile 1, which is the earth element. This is your reading, so I'm thinking where can I put this? I might put that there. It will stay up. Yes. Okay, so let's see what's going to come up for you in August 2020. And as I said in the introduction, make sure you stick around to get your full reading because we are doing cards, charms and dice as always. So let's look at your gnome tarot cards, and obviously you must resonate with my channel a lot because I have the gnomes in the background. So we've got Sabožník, which is the shoemaker, and in this deck that's the magician. Smrt, death, 2 majors already. And Page Monét, the Page of Pentacles, and it says here Zayom, which means alone. Loan, like loaning money. So what's interesting is you have got a Pentacles card here. Okay, so what I'm seeing is something ending for you, because that Death card is kind of coming out at me loud and clear. This is Scorpio energy, but of course we've got all of the earth signs shown here as well. There is something that's coming to an end which needs to come to an end for you. And the key word for this card in the guidebook is transformation. Transformacja. So this is a positive ending. Like, you may not think of it as being that way at the time. You may feel some sadness about the change, or you may not quite be ready to let go of whatever it is that you're moving on from, but this is going to bring in positive new changes for you. It's like the ending of one cycle and the beginning of something fresh and new, because you have got, number one, the Magician, which is all about new beginnings. And so the Magician is, you know, traditionally about manifestation and about ushering in new energy, new beginnings, etc., all of your own accord. But actually in this deck it's talking about humility. The key word in this deck is humility, smirenia, for this card. And it's saying that although this gnome, this shoemaker, is very poor and he's been through a lot of hardships in life, he still is a very kind and generous person, and he still is very wise despite maybe not having won a lot of things in his life. It's like saying there's been a lot of hardship here, there's been a lot of difficulty, and maybe a lot of times when this gnome has felt like he's not had enough in life, or like he's not had very much, he's not had much luck, but there is this still this big heart within him that leads him to feel compassion and generosity towards other people. So I think that's really interesting. And this card, the Page of Pentacles, is about cautiously moving forward. And it's a positive card for finances, for health, for study, business, all of those things. But it's saying that although you may see progress in those areas in this month, it's not going to be a massive leap. It's going to be small, manageable progress. And also, because this deck, the keyword is Zayom, loan, it says that you might not be able to do everything on your own in this month. You might need some help from someone else. And that's what I think is interesting about the Magician here. Because, you know, I was saying traditionally the Magician does everything by himself. He doesn't need the help of others. But this shoemaker, this Magician, knows when to accept help, and he knows when to ask for help. He has the humility to understand his limits and to know when he can't manage everything by himself. So that's what I'm seeing in this deck, which is interesting. Interesting start to your reading. See what other cards we've got. And as I said, we've got so many cards today. So we've got the Ten of Swords here. So again, this feeling of closing off a cycle. Now, I love this deck, and in the Nine of Swords in this deck, the preceding card, it shows a boy trapped in the swords, and the dragon is kind of circling around him, which shows how he is trapped by his own negative thoughts or his own lack of confidence, etc., his own anxiety. But in this card, the next one, he's overcome the dragon. He's closed off that cycle in his life. He's put the dragon to sleep, and he's saying goodbye to that chapter of his life. He's found his strength and power, and he's overcome it. So that's what I'm seeing, is this moving on, this closing off of a cycle. And I just really love this image, because often I think the Ten of Swords can be quite a negative looking image, because it's like you often feel defeated, you often feel like something's come to an end and you weren't really having any kind of a hand in it. But in this deck, it's showing actually you have power here. And what I like is that it's not a violent card. It's such a peaceful image of conquering, but it's almost like this dragon has allowed himself to be conquered. He wanted to do this so that the boy could learn some kind of lesson. So I think that's such a beautiful card. Let's see what else we've got here. Oh yeah, you got two of these Wisdom of the Golden Path cards. You got I Am Balance. Again, this kind of circular image. It's actually quite an airy image, I think. And you got Power. Okay, so coming into balance, there's a lot here about balance and circles. I mean, even that now is looking to me like coming full circle in a way. You've got a beginning and an ending there. So I Am Balance. This is telling you to bring balance into your life. It's reminding you that you are completely acceptable just as you are, and that you need to understand that your flaws are no greater than anyone else's flaws. Everything is balanced out by your good side and your negative side, and you just need to accept and love yourself. And when you start to do that, you create this peace and this calm within you. So I really, really love this card, because this is all about self-acceptance and just allowing things to happen as they need to happen, not fighting against things, just being in connection with nature. And I mean, it's lovely that you've chosen this elemental reading to tell you that, because that's exactly what this card is about, feeling at one with everything. And the power card is telling you to stand up for what you believe in. And again, this guy seems pretty connected to the natural world around him. And I think in the guidebook, when I read this card, this is a long time ago, I think it was saying that this guy is clearly a hunter because he has these arrows attached to him, but he's not using them. He's using the flute. So it's like knowing that, yes, sometimes you need to stand your ground, but sometimes you can use honey instead of vinegar. Sometimes you can use your words instead of your actions to improve a situation or to resolve a conflict. So it's saying absolutely stand up for what you know is right, stand up for what you believe in, but there's no need to do that in an aggressive or forceful way. You can do that in a very gentle way and have this more gentle influence over situations. Really, really beautiful cards. So then we have got the Scribe from the lovely Akashic Tarot, number 12. Interesting. I'll just see if you've got any more. Taking Shelter, the answers are within. And First Light, beginning a new cycle. So exactly what we were talking about. Again, this circular moon / sun image. So yeah, you got 2 of those cards as well, and I took them both because I just thought it would probably be important. So yeah, the Scribe. This is about learning, and it's about developing a deeper understanding of something, usually through study, so through reading, writing, etc. Some of you will have to write important documents like signing contracts, for example, or writing essays, blogs. Some of you are writing books, etc. In this month, that's what I'm seeing. Some of you will be needing to enlist the help of another person in a legal context or in like a mentorship, tutoring context, and that is also connecting back to what I was talking about, needing to ask for help sometimes and maybe not being able to do everything on your own in this month, and that's absolutely fine. So the Scribe. Taking Shelter as well, the answers are within. This is about pulling away from harsh environments, pulling away from the crowds, from lots of people, from loud environments, and just listening to that quiet inner voice, making that space to be in peace and in quietness so that you can hear your inner guidance. Meditation, yoga will be very important for a lot of you in this month. Breathing practices, carving out the time, even if it's just when you have a bath or something, to have that space to yourself. I would recommend leaving your phone or your computer, tablets outside of the room whenever you're doing this, or switching them off so that you aren't disturbed by notifications or ringing or anything like that. The answers are within, so you're being guided from within. So listen to your inner voice in this month. Again, I'm sorry about the drilling in the background. Listen to your inner voice, because that is how Spirit is going to be guiding you in this month. Inner voice, gut feelings, so intuition. If you feel bad about something, if you feel kind of uncomfortable when someone mentions something, then you know that that's not something you need to be getting involved with. If you have a good feeling about something, it's probably fine to follow that feeling. That's how you're being guided in this month. And then we've got Saint-Germain, karma releasing. It says move beyond drama, create your own path, make room for good energy. So that's very nice. So Saint-Germain is one of the ascended masters, said to have been an alchemist. So this is about releasing old karma that was needing to be tied up and dealt with. So that's what I see with the closing off of the cycles. I think also with it saying move beyond drama and create your own path, it's telling you to pull away from situations and from relationships that you know in your heart are causing you negative energy, negative feelings, negative reactions. And I know some of you will probably still want to hold on to these connections because it's a family member that you feel duty bound to spend time with, or it's someone that you have romantic feelings for or once hoped that you would be in a romantic relationship with. But this is just saying, if you know deep down that someone in your life or a situation in your life causes you a lot of anxiety or a lot of pain or a lot of kind of uncertainty, then it's best if you move on from that person, because that will make room for good energy. It will make room for new positive connections, positive situations, etc. So I love this. Love the beautiful colours of this card. Obviously you guys know that purple is my favourite colour, and I would probably have chosen the Earth card as well because I'm a Capricorn. Capricorn Sun, Gemini Moon, Libra Rising, Capricorn Venus as well, but I resonate really strongly with Capricorn energy. So this says have faith in your dreams, Waxing crescent moon. Okay, so another purpley card. So have faith in your dreams. Know that you can do it. Whatever you're trying to achieve in this month or that you've been working on for a while, know that you can do it. You need to have faith in yourself. But also, I just want to stress as well, because I think it's going to be important for some of you, know when to ask for help. If you are struggling, or if you think, I can't get all of this done in the time that I need to get it done, ask for help. There's no shame in asking for help if you're out of your depth, or if you just genuinely can't get something done. There's no shame in admitting that you find something difficult and that you might benefit from some tutoring or someone showing you how to do something. There's no shame in that at all. So then you've got a green card here, and it says Verbindung, Heilung. So the Heilung cards are the green cards. Heilung means healing. These cards, they have different colours based on the category that they are, and Verbindung means connection. So if you didn't already realise, if you're new to my channel, I do use decks that have different languages because I speak several different languages and I like using those languages and those decks in my readings. So connection, you see the two people coming together on the bridge here. And the tower in the background is catching my eye as well. The tower, like a higher viewpoint, like getting a higher vantage point. Also thinking about taking shelter, taking that space away from lots of other people. Because if you're in a tower, you're kind of shut away, but you can choose to do that by yourself. You know, it's not like a Rapunzel tower where there's no door. You can go in this by yourself. But what I'm seeing with connection is that there is someone who can help you. There is someone that is kind enough or close enough to you to want to help you out. For some of you, this will be in a financial sense, like a physical loan of money. For some of you, it will be just be someone giving you some emotional support. For some of you, someone will be able to give you advice or show you how to do something, a handhold through a difficult time, etc. Some of you also are coming into romantic relationships in this month as well, or into a business partnership. I see that for some of you as well. So as always, just take it how it resonates with you, because this is a general reading on YouTube, so it's got to fit a lot of people's situations. But there is like a coming together of two people in this month, this connection feeling. It's a really nice card as well, and I like it when we get a healing card, because there are cards that are like victim cards, unconscious cards, relationship cards, etc. But yeah, so definitely if you are interested in the romantic side, then stay tuned for the love reading for August that I will be releasing. It's probably going to be the next one that I release on the channel. So then we have this lovely Whispering Woods card for the earth element, and it says humility. Flowers are unaware of each other's beauty. They bloom regardless. Now that is so interesting, because humility is not a very common word, and we've had this word twice now in your reading. It was the key word for your first card, smirenie, humility in Russian. So that's so interesting. So learning to be humble in this month, learning not to have too high opinion of yourself, you know, because that can come across as arrogant. And learning also, as I said before, I think this is what it is for most people, just learning to ask for help when you need it, and learning to accept help if someone is offering it to you. And I love this message. Flowers are unaware of each other's beauty. They bloom regardless. So if you've been having difficulty because you've been comparing yourself to someone else, or if, like I sense for some of you, you're in a situation where you feel jealous of someone else, or you feel like someone else is better than you in some way, just learn to make peace with that situation and know that yes, you may be different, but that doesn't make anyone else better than you. So then we've got the tribe, number 8, lovely card. So again, this feeling of connection, but this is like a bigger thing. This is more like connecting with family or friends or a special community that you have. We've got brosa yakor, throw down an anchor, like, I don't even know how you phrase this correctly in English now, like lowering the anchor, I guess. So finding stability in your life, maybe some things grinding to a halt, but in a positive way, you know, like you found your place that you want to stay in, home-wise or job-wise, or you found someone that you want to grow closer to as a friend or in a romantic sense. It's like that feeling of, this is a good place for me, this is where I'm going to stay, this is where I'm going to let down my anchor. And that says 10 of crosses down the bottom, so if that means anything to you, take it on board. That deck doesn't have a guidebook, so everything you do needs to be done intuitively. And then you've got 2 of the Mystical Lenormand cards. So you got Ship, number 3, which is the 9th house, and that's all about adventure, travel, anything to do with foreign lands as well, so trading with other countries or speaking another language or connecting with someone who's living in another country. And we've got number 25, the ring, and this is Taurus energy, so a nice earthy card there. So I don't know if I said, but this is also about new beginnings, because it's like setting sail for me, setting out for this beautiful adventure. And the ring is about partnership. It's about commitment. For some of you, it will be signing contracts, kind of committing yourself in that way, maybe starting a course or something, signing up for a travel, maybe even some of you booking a holiday or a trip and then needing to kind of sign up to that so that you've put down a deposit or something. But for some of you, definitely romance is on the cards in August. Really lovely cards that you've got. I'm happy that I would have chosen this pile. Okay, so we're going to do your charms and your dice now. So just my usual disclaimer, if you're wearing headphones or if you have the volume turned up really loud, I would recommend turning it down a little bit while I shuffle the charms, because they can be quite loud. They are metal charms. And I know some of you do really like the sound of it anyway, but some of you complain that it's too loud. So I always give that little disclaimer. So group 1, the earth element, what is coming up for you in August 2020? Okay, so we've got one initial, we've got the letter L, so that could be important to you as someone's name, first name, surname. It could be a place name, a company name, a random word might come to you, whatever it is, take it on board. I just thought of love, but you know, it might be something different for you. It doesn't matter if nothing comes to mind for you, that's totally fine. I can see the love heart there, which is nice, and also the angel wing, so angels are watching over you at this time, and I feel inclined to say, because it's landed on this card, that they're watching over some kind of connection that you have at this time. Also the knight there, so for a lot of you there is a masculine energy coming towards you in this month, either in a romantic sense or in a sense of this person is helping you in some way, because I've seen that there is someone who is trying to help you in this month. We've got the thistle there, the Scottish charm. It's also about finding it difficult to get close to someone, or maybe not letting people in very easily, because I think of that prickly feeling with the thistle. But for some of you, you will have connections to Scotland through your name or your surname, your family history, through maybe some of you are planning to visit Scotland. That's what I'm seeing. Got a beautiful tree there, so lovely earth element again. That's all about growth. It's about health, stability, like, you know, not just throwing down an anchor, but taking root. And we've got this beauty charm as well, reminding you that you are beautiful. Again, we were talking about self-acceptance, and it makes me think of blossoming as well, like opening up to new experiences. We've got the pram there, which is about making long-term plans, deciding what you are going to do in the long term, deciding what it is that you want over the next few months and years. We've got the party hat, so for some of you there is a milestone date coming up in August or around that time. That would be birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, engagements, other significant dates for you. For the rest of you, there is something to celebrate coming up in August. You may be invited to some kind of social occasion, or you may just feel like you personally have achieved something that you are proud of. The starfish as well, that's a symbol of healing for me, because they can grow back their limbs when they lose them. So healing taking place, karma releasing. We've got this elephant telling you to listen to your inner voice, and I love it because it's landed on that card about saying the answers are within. So definitely listen to that inner voice. And someone was saying to me recently that they find it difficult to kind of trust their inner guidance because it comes through just in the same voice that their inner monologue is. So they think, well, if it was an angel talking to me, or if it was my spirit guides, or if it was God, then it must be a different sounding voice so that I would recognize that it wasn't me. That's not the case. I would say 90% of the time when I hear guidance, it sounds exactly like my own inner thoughts. So just learn to trust that, and learn to trust that you're not making it up, or you're not kind of deluding yourself in any way. Just learn to follow those guides and those hints that you get, because then they'll come across stronger, and it will just become easier for you the more that you do it. Then we have this lovely charm, which is this fairy sitting on the moon, waiting for her dreams to come true. It really reminds me of the DreamWorks logo, you know, the guy who's fishing on the moon. I just think it's such a beautiful image. I remember when I was a kid and we used to go to the cinema, I would love seeing that because it just made me feel so peaceful, and I would love thinking about what it would be like to sit on the moon and have that connection still to the earth. I don't know, it was just such a lovely feeling. But this is saying that you're waiting for something to happen, you're waiting for something positive to come in for you, almost like you're waiting for the guidance, so you're waiting for a sign, or you're waiting for some kind of miracle. So we'll do your dice now as well to finish up. So the way that I do this, if you're new, is I roll a 6-sided dice to see which set of dice we're using, because I have 6 at the moment. I am thinking of getting some more as well. Okay, so number 1, that's the fantasy dice. And then I roll a 10-sided dice to see how many of them we're rolling, and if it's a 0 or a 1, then I roll again to try and get some more. Okay, all 9. Wow, you're lucky. So let's see what is coming up for group 1, the earthy group in August 2020. Okay, wow, oh my goodness. You guys, look at how similar this image is. Wow. This is why I love doing all the different things, because it's so lovely when we get these repeated symbols or these repeated messages, and especially when they land on exactly the card that it was, you know, making reference to. I just think that's amazing. So let me just see which ones we've got. I think that was there. Yeah, okay, so the dragon, first of all. So obviously that's a fire elemental sign, but to me the dragon dice is about kind of something significant that's going on in your life. August seems like a very significant month for you. You have got a dragon up there as well, of course, and that's about overcoming that situation, putting something to rest, putting an end to a cycle so that you can move into something new, as we've got the first light there. So definitely overcoming something in this month and putting an end to something. Some of you will also be born in the year of the dragon, Chinese year of the dragon, so that will have an extra meaning for you. We've got the monk there as well. It makes me think again of spending more time in silence or being quiet so that you can listen to your inner guidance. It makes me think of connecting to spirituality more as well. The hut as well, I think, obviously I think of this card when I get it, but I also think of home, family, material comforts, home being your sanctuary in this month. We've got the lighthouse as well. It's like guiding the way for you. It's guiding you to the right place, the right path, feeling as though you're being pulled to the right place. So, oh my goodness as well, look at how similar this dice is to this image. That is crazy. Like, even the bend of the river and the tower, the way that the tower is drawn, that is so crazy. My goodness. So yeah, being guided maybe by angels then, because we've got an angel wing there, being guided to make the right decisions and be on the right path. That journeying symbolism again, I think of the Fool a lot when I get this. So new beginnings again, feeling happy, feeling excited for new things coming your way. We've got the treasure chest, so discovering something, maybe a surprise, abundance coming into your life. That's also very positive for finances. As I said earlier, it seems like there is going to be an improvement in finances for a lot of you in August. We've got a gnome or a dwarf, which is so cute because you've got the gnome tarot. You chose the gnome pile, the earth pile. I think of the hermit a lot when I get this dice because he's holding a lantern, and obviously gnomes live underground and they work with precious metals and with gemstones, crystals, etc. They do mining. So this makes me think of going into that darkness, into the subconscious, the psyche, and digging out old memories or finding new things out about yourself, these wonderful crystals, these wonderful gems and precious metals. That's what I think of when I get this dice. So it's like dealing with issues that are in your subconscious. So some of you dealing with inner child issues, childhood problems, past life issues, previous relationship trauma, bullying as a child, these things being brought back up so that you can deal with them and kind of finally put them to rest. That's what I'm seeing, you consciously making an effort to do that. We've got the maze there, or the labyrinth. So when I get that, I think of not getting lost, you know, ensuring that you stay grounded, that you don't get lost, that you don't get confused as you go through this whole complex issue of whatever the subconscious thing is that you're dealing with. And of course, this Queen of Swords figure as well. Someone who is very much standing up for herself, someone who is very independent, defending herself, determined to do everything on her terms and kind of, you know, get rid of what is no longer needed. That's what I think of when I see that dice. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. There is going to be an extended version of this reading on my Patreon page. I forgot to say that in the intro, so I'm going to have to say it at the end of each video. But yes, I'm going to make an extended version of this on my Patreon page for people who want more messages. So thank you so much for watching. I would love this if you would give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video. Please also let me know in the comments below how it resonated, because I love to hear about your situations. I love to hear about how it resonates, even though you all have such different experiences and situations. I find that really fascinating, and I do try to reply to as many comments as I can. I do think it's important that you know that I read your comments and that I hear you when you comment something. So thank you for sharing your time with me today. If you would like to leave a tip or a donation for this reading, then I have a PayPal link in my description box. If you want to help out the channel in another way, I have the Patreon page, as I said before. We do pick a card readings on there and kind of other spirituality stuff on an ad hoc basis. There is also a monthly prize draw to win a reading with me on there. I have an Amazon wish list for new tarot and oracle decks if you're interested in that. Some of them are little ones that are obviously cheaper. Some of them are a full size, so you might see something that you like on there if you just give it a quick look over, and you might want to get something new for the channel. So please do check that out if you're interested. If you want to book a private reading, I've got my Etsy page. I offer elemental readings on there as well, so you can pick whichever element you're interested in. So the gnome reading is the earth reading if that's what you're interested in. Do remember to leave me your name, your question, your email address, and then if there's anyone else involved in your question, then give me their name as well, because that's how I connect to their energy in a private reading. So as I said before, thank you so much for watching this, and if you're still listening to me, thank you for staying until the end. Have a great month ahead, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye, take care. Hey there everyone who chose pile 2, which is the water elemental reading, and welcome to your reading. We're going to do August 2020 predictions. So as I said in the intro, just in case you missed it, remember to stick around for your full reading, because we don't just do cards here, we do charms and dice as well. So we've got a few different cards that are kind of water elemental, and then ones that work with all of the elements as well. So let's see what's coming up for you in August. We've got Page of Cups, Imagination. Page of Swords, Gossip. Queen of Pentacles, Kindness. A lot of court cards. And the Vortex, Temptation. Okay, so this is the Devil card, number 15, Capricorn energy. So what I think is interesting is that we've got water, air, and earth represented here. So it seems like there's a lot of people that are kind of going to be important to you in this month. There are people who you enjoy spending time with. There are going to be people that are going to be very kind and giving and loving towards you. There are also going to be people who are kind of gossiping either with you or about you. So what I would say is try to stay out of any gossip or rumours in this month, because things like that can come back to bite you if you have been kind of taking part in that, if someone hears about it and gets upset. Also, I would say be careful who you confide in this month, just in case someone isn't very trustworthy and ends up running off to tell someone else. And also the Vortex as well. This is interesting. This is like you getting caught up in a situation that you feel like you have no control over. So what I would say with this card is that it's time to move on from things that have kept you obsessed or addicted or trapped. If you feel as though there is a situation or a relationship, maybe a job, that is just too overwhelming for you, too negative for you in terms of the effect and the influence that it has upon you, then it's time to move away from that. It's time to consciously pull yourself out of that situation so that you don't just keep turning round and round in that vortex, because it's just going to keep getting stronger and stronger if that's the case, spiraling out of control. Improved imagination in this month, which is very nice. With the Page of Cups, I also think that maybe you'll be spending time with friends. As I said before, maybe some of you will get feelings for someone in a romantic sense as well in this month. Some of you might also get information that you weren't really hoping to get kind of communication wise. You might end up having delays or changes to plans that you weren't hoping to get. But Queen of Pentacles, I love this. Someone is willing to help you out in this month and kind of take care of you and be kind to you. It's also telling you to be kind to others and to take care of yourself as well in this month. Self-care, kind of body positivity, very important for you in this month. Let's move those up there and we'll look at what other cards you have. Okay, so we've got Alice in Wonderland, which is the Wheel of Fortune. So that's interesting because I was just talking about kind of going round and round in a situation. And of course, this is a carousel. So unless one of the people gets off the ride, it's just going to keep going round and round. So you'll know what I'm talking about if this is a situation for you where you've just been stuck and you've just maybe been allowing things to spiral out of control or been allowing things to drag on for longer than they needed to, just because you didn't want to be the person who made the conscious choice to pull away. But I think some of you will have to make the choice to leave situations or relationships in this month that you know are causing you harm or that you know are just not improving, just going round and round without really getting anywhere. In this month, you'll know what that means if you're in that kind of situation. So then we've also got cooperation. And what I find interesting is you've got a mermaid card in this deck. This isn't a mermaid deck or anything like it, but there are, I think, 2, maybe 3 cards that have merfolk on them. So cooperation, definitely working with people. People are important to you in this month. Maybe for some of you, restrictions will be eased where you're living and you'll be able to go out and see friends and family again. You'll be able to spend time with people in a social sense again. And so this is a lovely, lovely card. But with cooperation, I think it's more about people helping you in some way. Maybe doing a team project at work or at school. Maybe just needing to say to your friends, okay, I need a day out, or I need some support from you. I need some help from you or some advice or whatever. Just learning to give and accept help and learning to ask for help as well. Very important for you in this month. And then we've got freedom, independence, self-determination, number 7. Now that sounds funny next to the cooperation card, but I think what this is telling you is that firstly, freeing yourself from whatever situation, vortex, carousel situation this is. And that's going to bring you positivity because obviously the Wheel of Fortune is a positive card. But I think also it's telling you that asking for help and working with others and accepting help when it's offered to you doesn't make you any less independent. It just makes you strong for knowing when you need help, for knowing your limits essentially and not pushing yourself any further than you need to go. So I like this. It's like a pirate mermaid. I really like pirates. I did see the Pirate Tarot, which is a Lo Scarabeo deck, but because it's out of print, it's about £500 for one deck, so definitely out of my price range for now. So then we have number 14, single-mindedness. Choose your own path and what is best suited to you. So these are barracudas. And as I was saying before about the freedom, you know, knowing what's right for you, knowing to pull away from that situation, choose your own path and what you know is right for you. But also note that these barracudas are still in a shoal. They are in a group. They're not on their own. They're just doing what's right for them. So surrounding yourself with the right people in this month. And then we've got number 11, persistent drive. See what you desire and move towards that goal. It is time to zero in on your purpose. Use your intuition and instincts to guide you for the optimal outcome. And so that's both of those cards are about moving towards a goal or moving forward on a path that you know is right for you. So I think that's interesting. These are I think ocean white-tip sharks. I love this deck. It's a new one, so you can thank my patrons for their lovely taste in choosing decks because they voted for these and these and these as well, but that was earlier. Then we have Reflection, number 19. So again, a very watery card, and this isn't a water elemental deck or anything. So definitely I think that your intuition and your kind of spiritual side are deeper in this month than usual. So I would say do make space for yourself to listen to that intuition and do trust your intuition as well. This was a theme that came up in the Earth Elemental reading a little bit, just learning to understand that when you get guidance through your inner voice, you know, guidance from angels, spirit guides, God, etc., it doesn't always come through in a different voice. Like sometimes it just sounds exactly like your own inner monologue would, your own inner thoughts. So you have to learn to trust the guidance that you're given and trust that it's not just you making it up. But the more that you trust it, the stronger it will become and the easier it will become for you to understand when it's guidance and when it's just random thoughts. So definitely learn to trust yourself. And also reflection just makes me think about reflecting on things, reflecting on decisions you've made, reflecting on past experiences, reflecting on past relationships, etc. And just finding peace with that. It's a very peaceful image. Finding sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. So definitely opening up to whatever spirit wants to tell you, opening up to that guidance. And we have Commander Ashtar, call to action. Take charge, lead by example, and walk your talk. So Commander Ashtar is a starseed commander. So some of you may be starseeds, you may resonate with that. But he's telling you to take this action that you're being guided to take. It seems like a lot of you are being guided to pull yourself out of a situation that you know is wrong and continue down on a path that you know will lead to positive results for you, or you know that will lead to you achieving a certain goal. It's time to focus on you now and seeing how your friends and the people around you can help you. So Commander Ashtar calling you to action. And then we have look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. So again, focusing on the long term, what it is that you want in the long term. And remembering that if you do feel stuck or you do feel like you're not really going anywhere in life at this moment, just look at the bigger picture and remind yourself, actually, it hasn't always been like this and it won't always be like this. This is just one part of my journey. So Sagittarius energy coming out there for you. So then we have, what I find interesting is that I think the earth elemental card was green. This one is blue, and then the fire element card was orange. So they matched perfectly. The air one was also green. So the blue ones are unconscious cards, the subconscious. So das Unbewusste, that's the subconscious. So this is number 23, der Schatten, the shadow or the shadow self. So dealing with shadow self issues, as I said, some of you are obsessed or addicted to something or just doing something that you know is just creating this negative cycle or this negative void situation in your life, and it's time to face up to that and realize, actually, I have the power to do something here. Stop seeing yourself as a victim and start seeing yourself as someone who has agency and who has power and who has the option to move forward and to take conscious action here. So I think that's a really empowering card. And also remembering as well, if you're afraid of something, it's often because of projection. Fear always comes from something within ourselves that is triggered. So just reminding yourself that actually the fear of something external comes from within ourselves, and therefore we have the power to change it, to reframe it, to have some control over it. I think that's really empowering. We have poised, number 48. So it's like waiting for something to happen, waiting for a change in your circumstances. We have Glubinier, in the deep. So another water card from a deck that's not all water elemental cards. Deep-seated issues, things in the subconscious, things in the psyche, trauma from the past maybe being dealt with, inner child issues, past life issues being brought back up. Reflecting, as I said before, on past relationships. Maybe some of you were bullied when you were kids. Maybe you didn't have the best childhood. Maybe you haven't had a great time at work, or when you were studying there was issues there. It's like bringing up those deep-seated issues and dealing with them so that they can finally be put to rest. And this says 8 of crosses. There's no guidebook for this deck, so if that means anything to you, take it on board. And then your Mystical Lenormand card is the moon. So we've got the moon there. That's quite a repeated theme here. And in the tarot, moon would be Pisces, but in this deck it's Cancer. So either of those you can take on board. It's number 32 as well in the deck. And this is again about reflection. It's about recognition of issues. It's about the subconscious again, and kind of finding that power and strength again. And I just love the little sheep here as well, because what the Commander Ashtar card was saying was about taking charge, leading by example, and here we've got a shepherd who is preparing to lead his sheep from one place to another. So definitely you're being called to be some kind of leader or set an example to other people in this month. So we'll do your charms now and then your dice. So my usual disclaimer, if you're wearing headphones, if you have the volume turned up very loud, you might want to turn it down while I shuffle the charms, just because they can be a little bit loud. as their metal. I know a lot of you do actually like the sound of the charms, but I have to give the disclaimer for people who get annoyed with me and say, oh, those charms are too loud, you should have warned me. So that's your warning. So group 2, water elemental reading. What is coming up for you in August 2020? Okay. So I'm just going to see if there's any initials here. There's a P. So that could be someone's name, surname, it could be a place name, it could be a random word that just comes to you when I say that. So P, I thought of persistent when I got that because I saw the persistent drive there, but it could be something else. Don't worry if nothing comes to you, it might only be for several people. So we've got love there. So for some of you, maybe this vortex situation is a relationship, maybe not romantic, but a relationship that has unhealthy dynamics, or a relationship where it's just been going on for too long and you've been giving more than you've been receiving in that situation. And we've got the leaf there, shedding, releasing what is no longer needed. So that's very germane and relevant to that card. So then we've got a lot of stuff here on the freedom card. We've got the Hand of Fatima, so that's telling you that you're protected from negative energies and from negative entities in this month. You've got that protection around you. We've got the Pisces charm, which is about going with the flow. Don't fight against things that are happening in your life, just allow things to happen. And also the lovely manta ray as well, so these lovely water animals coming out for you. The manta ray is also about following your intuition, lying low, feeling where you're being pulled to go. That's what the manta ray is saying. They lie on the bottom of the ocean and they feel the ripples on their body, and that tells them if there's a predator or if there's food coming near, and that's when they decide to make a move. You've got a love heart as well. This charm doesn't come out very often. I've only had it about once or twice, and I've had it quite a long time. This is an Easter egg. So I think of surprises when I get this. Some of you, there may be issues from the springtime or planning for the next springtime that's coming through, because obviously Easter is in spring, but I think of surprises when I get that. Treasure hunt maybe as well. It has landed on the pirate card. So then we've got the sheath, which is about keeping things hidden. So maybe you're not sharing the full situation with someone in this month, or maybe you're keeping some of your feelings or your thoughts to yourself. I've just noticed there are 2 skeletons here. There's one there and one there. I only have 2. So skeletons in the closet, dealing with those things from the past that we've been talking about, dealing with the shadow side. The Jolly Roger as well. So funny that it's come out on the pirate card. So the Jolly Roger is saying that someone has shown you their true colours. Someone has shown you who they really are, and you need to believe them. So this may be someone that you are romantically interested in, it may be a friend, it may be a family member or a colleague, but someone has shown you who they really are, and you might not like that, but you need to accept that that's who they are. That's the truth. We've got the elephant charm there, which is about listening to your inner voice. We've got a lovely key, finding a solution to a problem. The dove, a nice symbol of peace. And this cute little star as well, winking at you, telling you to have hope and know that things will work out well. Have a little bit of fun as well. Just seeing we've got another elephant down there. Definitely listen to your intuition, because that seems to be kind of on point in this month. Sagittarius charm. Some of you do have Sagittarius in your chart, because that's coming out in the card here as well. This charm is also about determination, going after that goal like these cards are talking about. We've got a worry doll there. Some of you worried, fearful of something, maybe the shadow self, maybe you don't want to deal with that worry thread as well. We've got Leo energy here as well. That's also about not being prideful. So don't let pride stop you from accepting help. Don't let pride stop you from walking away from a situation that you've been in for a very long time, thinking, oh, well, you know, I've known them this long, I can't walk away now, or I've been working on this for 3 years, I can't stop it now when I haven't got the result I wanted. Learn to know when to walk away. We have passionate, that's Scorpio energy, so obviously water energy coming through. Winter time as well, so winter time important for some of you, either making plans for the coming winter or dealing with issues that arose in the previous winter or another winter time. Creativity there with the paintbrush. The the dragon, some of you born in the year of the dragon. This also means something very significant is taking place for you in this month. It does seem like an important month as far as inner work goes. The elephant is telling you, this is a different elephant, telling you to learn from your past mistakes and just keep moving forward. And if you come across an obstacle, move it out of your way. Don't dwell on it. Don't fight against it. Just brush it to the side and keep moving. We have the blossoming charm and also the fairy who brings blessings. So blessings coming to you in this month, lovely messages. And now we'll do your dice as well. So if you're new to my channel, I roll this 6-sided dice to see which set we're going to use, because I have 6 sets at the moment. I'm probably going to get some more as well. Number 3. Okay, so that is the mystery dice. And you have got that surprises charm as well. So then I roll a 10-sided dice, and that tells us how many of them will roll. And if it's a 0 or a 1, then I roll again to try and get some more. 8. Wow, and group 1 got 9, so lots of dice in this reading. Okay. So what is coming up for group 2 in August 2020? Okay. Let me just see what we've got here. Okay, so we've got the rat. That's another Chinese year. Year of the dragon, wherever that's gone. Year of the dragon, year of the rat. Maybe when people are born, maybe when something happened for you. The rat, I also think of opportunists, like seeing an opportunity and going after it, or seeing a way out of a situation and just snatching it, like not even thinking twice, just saving yourself from that situation. That's what you need to do at this moment. We've got the calculator, that's about working out what you want, trying to be logical and rational as well. We have the house in the forest, so needing to pull away from someone. Like this is just making me think about like sanctuary and also isolation, but in a way that you've chosen, because whoever lives in this house has chosen to live there. It's like just needing to have that quiet time to recharge or to rest from something. We've got the person who's looking around the corner, who is afraid of what he might see. I always think of Hermione in the Chamber of Secrets when I get this, because she was looking around the corners with a mirror in case she saw the basilisk, and that's what I think of. It's like this person's afraid of what's around the corner. So don't worry about the future. I can also see this person as well who's afraid. You're afraid to face up to something, or you're afraid to finally make a decision because it might bring some negative consequences for you, or you think someone will think badly of you for doing that. The TV as well, entertainment, kind of light entertainment. Try and give yourself some kind of light distraction in this month, because I think you are dealing with a lot of heavy emotional stuff. You are maybe putting a lot of pressure on yourself, and so you need to cut yourself some slack and just make sure that you are finding time to relax and to rest as well. As I said, de-stressing, detoxing. We've got the person here who is kind of looking out of the storm drain, so that works well with this kind of shadow self like image. It makes me think of someone who's hidden, and it also makes me think of, you know, something that's lurking there that you don't want to acknowledge, or that you don't want to think about, like the, you know, the monster under the bed kind of thing. You don't want to believe it's real, but it's there and it needs to be dealt with. And then we have the person who is kind of teleporting or something. This is interesting. For some of you there are twin flame situations going on. For some of you there are also situations where you are being very strongly guided by your spiritual team, so much that you can almost feel them. But for some of you, again, I think this is inner child issues. I think it's past life issues. It's like other sides of the self that need to be healed and need to be dealt with and put to bed. Some of you trying to balance the masculine and feminine within yourselves. That's what I'm seeing here. So I hope you enjoyed this. Group 2, thank you so much for watching this video. I forgot to say in the introduction as well, so I'll have to say it here. I am going to do an extended version of this video on my Patreon page, so anyone who wants more messages can go over there, but I forgot to say that in the introduction, so I'm going to have to say it at the end of each pile. I would love it if you would give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed it, and also I would really love it if you would leave a comment below and let me know how it resonated with you. I love reading about your situations, and I do try to reply to as many comments as I can, because I think that's really important. So if you want to do that and let me know how it resonated, that would be lovely. Also, if you want to book a private reading, I do offer elemental readings in my Etsy shop, so you can book a water elemental reading if you'd like to. There are also the other elements there now as well. Also, if you want to help out the channel in any way, as I said before, I have a tarot wish list on Amazon. All of the links are in the description box. I have my Patreon page where we do exclusive picker cards, kind of ad hoc spiritual stuff, and you get to vote on new decks that we get for the channel. There's a monthly prize draw to win a reading with me. I also have a PayPal link for donations and tips. If you'd like to leave a tip for this reading, that would be lovely. Sorry about the drilling going on in the background, but yeah, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching and for staying until the end. Have a great month ahead, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care. Hey there everyone who chose pile 3 with the air elemental energy. This is your reading, so we'll see what's going to happen for you in August 2020. And as I said in the introduction, make sure you stick around so you get your full reading, because we do cards, charms and dice on this channel. So we've got this beautiful new deck that I only got the other day. My lovely patrons voted for it, so you can thank them for their lovely taste. So we've got the Page of Cups, 10 of Cups, 6 of Cups, and the High Priestess. Okay, lots of cups energy, which is interesting. So what I'm seeing in August is there is a lot of emotional situations going on. There's a feeling of waiting as well, and connecting to your spiritual side more deeply. I think a lot of you are hoping to find a romantic relationship or to kind of deepen your connection to someone in this month. It's like some of you do have a certain someone that you're thinking of. Some of you are just hoping to manifest someone. Some of you just starting to open up to the idea of love again. The 6 of Cups as well makes me think of past life issues and also childhood issues being dealt with. A lot of people seem to be dealing with their inner child at this time and kind of working on those inner child issues. And what I love about this card in particular is it said in the guidebook, the magical companions of your childhood are still with you at this time. Learn to walk alongside them. And I think that's such a beautiful message. So lovely, because children obviously being more open to things that can't be seen or perceived in the 3D world. And so it's like getting back to that, starting to open yourself up to these inner worlds, to these magical hidden worlds. And spirituality is such a big part of that, with that High Priestess there reading this book of secrets and learning new knowledge, but also tempering it with her own insights and her own wisdom. It's like you need to listen to that guidance as well, listen to what you're being guided to do, and even if you're not 100% sure, just follow it. That's what I'm feeling like. You know, as an adult, you maybe are not as open as you were in childhood to these things, and you just need to follow it. So beautiful. Relationships seem to be quite good for you in this month as well. We've got that 10 of Cups energy, so positive relationships, not just in a romantic sense, but in terms of friends and family. You're feeling quite fulfilled in an emotional sense, which is a really nice message to have. So see what other cards we've got for you. We've got the Emperor's New Clothes. Obviously that's the Emperor card. Aries energy. So this is interesting. As I said before, some of you trying to manifest a twin flame or soulmate energy into your life. Some of you trying to work on issues to do with the divine masculine. And that's what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing also, for some of you, dealing with authority figures or father figures in your life and learning to accept them for what they are, despite their faults. Because this Emperor card, it's very different to a lot of Emperor cards. This kind of shows him as being a little bit foolish sometimes, or not always driven by his rational mind. And so this is saying, you know, learn to accept father figures and authority figures in your life for all of their flaws and for all of their ups and downs and positives and negatives, learning to accept that and work with that. We've got this beautiful New Beginning card, and this is a very airy looking card. I really like this one. So new beginning for a lot of you, moving into a new phase, a new experience. Obviously the Page of Cups does bring this feeling of newness with it, so positive new experiences for a lot of you. We've got number 16, Caught in the Ruins here. So some of you also are not quite stuck in the past, but are kind of dwelling a lot on the past, and it's time to move on from that in this month. That's why you've got that New Beginning card. It's saying obviously with the Six of Cups, it's about things being brought back up, but I feel like a lot of you may be dwelling on things that you did in the past that you regret or that you wish you'd done differently, dwelling on decisions that were made that you wished were different, and maybe also some of you dealing with childhood abuse or bullying, things like that, that you are still affected by even in adulthood. And so this is saying learning to free yourself from that situation, to overcome that, and to welcome in these new positive feelings, these new lovely airy feelings of freedom that come with this lovely new beginning card. So definitely a lot of you are working with that, healing those kinds of situations in your life. You got 2 Sacred Traveler cards as well. So you got Gates of Triumph, success expands in your life. That's a beautiful image. And what I like actually is it's quite similar to this. You know, there's the gate there, but here that gate is wide open. So freeing yourself from that and allowing yourself to experience this positivity. Voyage of the Heart, love flows through you and to you. So definitely a lot of you hoping to manifest love or growing closer to someone in a romantic sense, but I think this is also just about, in general, feeling at one with nature, giving and receiving love in your non-romantic relationships, being kind to people, being generous and receiving that in return. That works very well with the Ten of Cups card. Actually, there's another one of these as well. Miracles. Expect the wondrous to emerge. Now that's a beautiful card. I think that's probably my favorite card in that deck, actually, not just because of how positive the meaning is, but also I just love the imagery. I love the colors, everything about it, and obviously this wispy kind of airy energy there as well. Expect the wondrous to emerge. So maybe a wish will be granted for you in this month, because obviously that's a genie card. Expecting something wonderful to happen and following those hints as well. Like, I just keep being drawn back to this Six of Cups image with this mystical, magical being holding the hand of this person, and it's like saying, know that they're there, know that you have your spiritual team and your guides around you. Learn to trust when they say something to you. And I've said this in all 3 piles now, but I'll say it again. Someone recently said to me that they found it difficult to follow those intuitive hints a lot of the time because they expected it to come through as a different sounding voice in their head. If they were getting guidance from an angel or from a spirit guide or from God, they expected it to be a different voice. And I would say in my experience, about 90% of the time, that's just not the case. It sounds exactly like your inner monologue, like your own thoughts. So you need to learn to trust those hints and to follow them. And the more that you do that, the easier it will be to trust them and to recognize when it's not just your thoughts, wishful thinking, etc., to learn when it's real guidance. So just keep trusting in this month and acting upon that guidance. Then we have Lady Portia, Divine Order. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. So what I was saying about doing what feels right for you, doing what you feel called and what you feel drawn to do. I love the colours of this card and the image. As you know, purple is my favourite colour. Purple of this card is really beautiful as well. We have a fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. Now you've got an Aries card already, so some of you have strong Aries energy in your chart as well. Fiery climax approaches. So something very, very sudden is going to happen, or something very almost conflict-like is going to happen in this month, but it's important that it happens. Either you're going to have to confront someone by doing what you feel is right, you know, you're going to have to take a stand against someone and say, actually, I don't want to continue down this route, or actually, I need you to commit to me, or actually, I need you to admit that what you did was wrong. That's what I'm seeing, you kind of standing up to someone and it shocks that person, or you causing a conflict by doing what you know is right. So I think it's a Dumbledore quote, actually, Harry Potter quote, knowing the difference between, choosing to do what is right, not what is easy. So the right thing to do is not always the easy thing to do, and sometimes it causes a trigger reaction in some people because they don't want to be reminded that they did something that was wrong or that was unkind. But doing what you know is right is always important. It's very important to follow that guidance and to follow that intuition. So then your other cards here, we've got Vertrauen, Heilung. Okay, so the Heilung cards are the green backed cards. Heilung means healing in German, and this is number 28, and it says Vertrauen, trust. that's what we've been talking about. Trust that things will work out. Trust that your intuition is on point. Trust that you're being guided. Trust that you have your spiritual team around you. Trust that you have the strength to have this new beginning and to stand up to authority and to stand up to people who have maybe done wrong in the past and need to be told that. You see, this person has walked across these crocodiles in the river and he's just trusted that everything would work out for him. He's still playing with a ball. Like, trust that you are being guided and that you will be taken care of and that you will be caught if something wrong happens and you end up falling. Trust that the universe will catch you. That's a beautiful, beautiful card. Let's see what else we've got. We've got flexible, number 19. So being flexible, not being stubborn, not fighting against what happens to you, but just bending, allowing things to happen. Regeneration, number 46. New life, new experiences, renewed energy. Obviously we've got the new beginning card there as well. Ukusil za chvost. So this says he bit his tail, and obviously what I'm seeing here is just this feeling of going round and round, round and round, caught in the past, caught in a cycle that you know is just not helpful, and it's time to break away from that and move forward. And the 5 of crosses as well, so if that means anything to you, take it on board. There's no guidebook for this deck, so you have to do everything by intuition. But yeah, what I'm seeing is also this going round and round. He's the person that's causing it. He has the power to change it and no one else. So it's up to you to break the chain, to break a cycle, to put an end to something that is just going round and that you know is perpetuating negativity or is just stagnant, stale energy. You know what's right to do in this situation. And lastly, your last card, we have number 19, Turm, the Tower. Again, this is about authority and it's about standing firm, standing tall. I also think some of you have been feeling quite lonely recently, quite isolated, and you want to have someone around you. You want to have friends around you. You want to have people or a certain special person that is right for you to be around you there. So that's what I'm seeing. Take that how it resonates. So we'll do your charms and your dice now, group 3. So quick disclaimer. If you're wearing headphones or if you have the volume turned up very loud, you might want to turn it down while I shuffle the charms. They can be quite loud because they're metal, and I know a lot of you do like the sound of the charms, but some people get annoyed with me and say, oh, you should have given me a warning because it was too loud. So that's my disclaimer. So let's see, group 3, what is coming up for you in August 2020? Does definitely seem to be quite an emotional month, because even though you're the air elemental reading and you have got some airy cards, obviously I chose these tarot cards because I wanted to use them to do air elemental readings, and I would say that that's quite an airy card as well. This one's also kind of up in the air, this one as well. A lot of them are quite watery in nature, so it seems like there's a lot of emotional situations going on for you. Maybe a lot of you do have water in your chart quite strongly or quite prominently. We've got the letter X there, so maybe deleting something, getting rid of something. Maybe the letter X is important to you as someone's name or surname or a place or a word. Whatever it means for you, just take it on board. We've got a worry doll there, so there is some worry going on in the background for you. You are being guided. The reindeer is saying you're being guided. And you have the 6 of Wands charm, so good news is on its way. Good things are coming towards you. That's very nice. Now you have the owl, so this is telling you, listen to your inner voice, your inner wisdom. Know that that is what is guiding you in this month, and that elephant also means the same thing. Listen to that inner wisdom, because that is telling you what is right, and that is guiding you to the right place. We've got the attachment symbol there, so some of you getting quite attached to people or places. Angels are watching over you at this time. Got a worry thread there as well. So some of you are quite anxious or worried about something that you maybe know is coming or that you know is inevitable, but you just don't really want to deal with it. We've got the hockey sticks, that's teamwork, working together with someone. The Leo charm, the lion, also about pride. So don't let pride stop you from accepting help. Don't let pride stop you from ending a situation that you have been putting a lot of energy into. Know when it's right to walk away. Know what's the right thing to do. The gingerbread man, that's about something taking a while to come to fruition, taking a while to be fully ready, a slow burn kind of thing. We've got house and home. A lot of you feeling very close to family at this time, and for a lot of you, home is your sanctuary in this month. We've got health there, good health, improved health if some of you have been through a tough time in health. We've got a lovely key there as well, which is about finding a solution to a situation. But for me, I think this is a very special meaning, because I was talking about how these people are locked in this gate and these gates are open. Well, the key landed on that card. So, you know, opening up to that and freeing yourself from that situation. We've got a winter charm there, a snowflake. So some of you are rehashing things that happened in the winter. Maybe some of you are making plans for the winter, the coming winter, I mean. We've got the flower there, beauty, blossoming, opening up. Pisces energy, going with the flow again, not fighting against things that are happening, just allowing them to happen, and you doing what is right, but not fighting against change, I mean. And we've got divine timing there with the watch. Everything happening in divine timing, allowing that to happen. Again, not trying to rush anything, not trying to slow things down, just allowing things to happen when they need to happen. So we'll do your dice now as well to finish up. So if you're new, I roll a 6-sided dice to see which set we use, because I have 6 sets at the moment and I'm thinking of getting some more as well. So number 4, so that's the Looney Tunes dice. These ones. And then I roll a 10-sided dice, and that tells us how many of them we're going to use. And if it's a 0 or a 1, then I roll again. 5, okay. Okay. So what is coming up for group 3 in August 2020? Okay. So we've got the catapult there. So like aiming for a particular goal. Sorry, did I say catapult? I meant slingshot. We've got the slingshot, aiming for a certain goal, being determined to reach that target, being determined to actually achieve something in this month. We've also got the Acme box, and it's got this arrow pointing upwards, and this little sign will say only way up or something like that, like only upwards or this way up. And so what I think of that when I get that dice is there's only a way up from here, you know, things are only going to improve from this point forward for you, so just about going upwards. Also, obviously, being the air elemental reading, upwards is the air sign. Then here we've got the very Looney Tunes cartoon thing to do, soaring around the floor that someone's standing on, or where there's like money or something here, so that it just drops down into the next floor. You're going to become aware of something that other people are planning or other people are doing or talking about, and you will have to make the decision whether you're going to stay in that circle or whether you're going to step outside of it and free yourself. And only you will know what is the right thing to do in that situation. We've got the cheese there as well. That makes me think something's not quite right. You know, something stinks here. You're going to catch on to something that's a little bit dodgy or a little bit underhand, and you're going to find something out, and maybe you're going to bring this to justice or kind of bring this into the sunlight, letting everyone know what's going on. And that's what this conflict or climax situation is. And then we have Marvin the Martian, who's one of my favourite characters actually. Marvin the Martian makes me think of isolation again, and kind of being on the outside looking in. It makes me think of being a foreigner or a stranger in some way, feeling like you don't quite fit in, or like the people around you or the people you usually hang out with just aren't quite on the same wavelength as you. So take that how it resonates with you. But that's what I'm seeing there. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I meant to say this in the introduction, but I forgot, so I'm having to say it at the end of each reading. But I will be doing an extended version of this reading on my Patreon page, so anyone who wants to get more messages, head over to my Patreon page and you'll get an extended version of this reading that I'm going to post there. Thank you so much for watching this. I would love it if you would give this video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed it. And I would also love it if you would let me know in the comments below how it resonated with you. I love hearing about your situations. I love hearing about what's going on for you, and I do try to reply to as many comments as I can. I think that's really important, that you know that I hear you and you know that I'm listening to what you tell me. So thank you again for spending your time to watch this video today. I hope it resonated. I hope it was helpful for you. If you'd like to leave a little tip or donation for this reading, I have a PayPal link in my description box. If you're interested in any of the decks, I'll have all of them listed in the description as well. As I said, my Patreon page is linked in the description as well. We do exclusive picker cards over there. We also do ad hoc spiritual things, like just random things that I decide to talk about on there, or things to offer. I usually offer things when I'm starting new things in the shop, on the Etsy shop. I'll offer them on Patreon first for free usually. So that's where you get like stuff before it becomes available on Etsy. Of course, there is the Etsy page as well if you're looking to book a reading. I offer elemental readings on there. So the air reading is air elementals, fairy, etc. reading. So if you want to book an air elemental reading, you can head over to Etsy. Please remember to give me your name and your email address as well as your question when you book. And if your question involves someone else, like if you're asking about someone else or if someone is really heavily influencing the situation, it would be great if you could give me their name as well, because that's how I connect to their energy in the reading, and I need that to do your reading if it involves another person. So if I don't get that straight away and I have to chase you up for it, it might mean that your reading gets pushed back a little bit, because I can't hold back other people's readings just because I'm waiting for information on someone. So that's just a reminder there. And yeah, if you would like to get a new deck for the channel, I have my tarot wish list in the description as well. So if you look through it and you think there's anything that would really work well on the channel, you'd like to get it, do let me know. That would be so kind of you. Thank you to everyone who's donated. Thank you to all of my patrons. You are so kind and generous and warm and loving. And have a great month ahead. Thank you again for sticking around to the end if you're still listening. Have a great month ahead. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care. Hey there everyone who chose pile 4 with the fire elemental reading. This is going to be your predictions reading for August, your general predictions. So as I said in the intro, you may not have heard it, we do tarot, charms and dice on my channel. So if you're new, stick around, make sure you get your full reading, because it won't just be cards that we're doing. So we've got Solutions, which is the Temperance card, Sagittarius energy, and it's Archangel Zadkiel here. Now, this is actually the second deck that I ever had in my life, so I've had it quite a long time, but for you it'll be new because I haven't used it on the channel before. It's called Archangel Power Tarot, and it's designed to motivate the way it's written. So I'll actually read out each card. It says, success that comes from objective compromise, self-control and patience, forgiving and healing energy. Then we have the Knight of Raphael, which is the Knight of Cups, romantic, dramatic, poetic, introspective, committed romantic relationships, being swept off your feet, situations or topics that make your heart flutter. And then we have the Star, Archangel Jophiel, Aquarius energy, and this says, a dream come true, believe in yourself, the end of a difficult situation. Okay, beautiful. So it feels like there's definitely going to be positive progress in this month for you guys. What I'm seeing at first is like this kind of blending, this balancing. Maybe some of you trying to balance the masculine and the feminine within yourself, trying to move away from extremes of emotions, extremes of kind of lifestyle, and into something that's more healthy and more balanced. I also see some of you possibly meeting someone or growing closer to someone in a romantic sense in this month. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned, because I will be doing a love reading as well for August. I don't think it's going to be an elemental one though, just because I want to do a timeless reading for love with the elementals. But yeah, I see some of you growing closer to someone, or at least opening up to love and being more interested in allowing that in your life. Also, creativity seems to be quite strong for you in this month. I'm seeing a lot of inspiration. I'm seeing maybe poetry, artistic leanings for a lot of you, and just hope and renewed faith. And I see improved health for a lot of you as well. Maybe eating better, maybe getting out, walking more, and that's good for your physical health, but also your mental and emotional health as well. So we'll see what else we've got. You guys got 2 inner child cards, which I think is interesting. You got Two of Crystals, Two of Pentacles. That's also about balance, balancing the masculine and feminine, balancing the positive and negative aspects of yourself, you know, your good sides and then your flaws, and coming into balance. The owl in the center of this seesaw represents the middle point, the balance, the good part in the center there. And also this empty swing is meant to represent how it's a lot easier to cooperate, and it's important to cooperate and to ask for help rather than to just do things by yourself. And the Three of Hearts, okay, Three of Cups. So definitely trying to welcome in like more fun, more of a light-hearted energy in this month. Some of you will be going out to see friends and family. Some of you just wanting to have fun, wanting to have a laugh again, and kind of not thinking about negative, heavy, energetic things anymore. You want to laugh. This clam is kind of singing or laughing, and it's sending these bubbles upwards. People are dancing here. It's a really beautiful energy. Love those cards. Okay, so then you have got Listen to Your Heart. Okay, so listen to what your heart is telling you. If you feel like someone is trustworthy, then go for it. If you feel like someone is not right for you, then try to pull away from that person or kind of reduce your contact with that person. Also, listen to your heart makes me think, it says here, situations or topics that make your heart flutter. So doing what you feel makes you happy, you know, not just doing what you think people want you to do, or not just always doing chores and the things that you have to do, but trying to do what makes you happy as well. We've got some beautiful dragon cards for you today. We've got Rainbow Dragon. Brings the leap of joy that opens new doors. Have trust, rediscover wisdom, expect miracles, and accept opportunities. That's a beautiful message. And then we have Earth Dragon. Clears your path and the land around you. Actually, I'll pull those down. Stay grounded, be ready to serve. Stuck energy is clearing. You can move forward in life. So what's interesting is that although this is the fire reading, so a lot of you will have a lot of fire in your chart, and we do have a Sagittarius charm there, card there, we've also got a lot of earth energy and some water energy as well. So I think that's quite nice. It's very balanced. You might want to watch the earth pile as well, because you have got Earth Dragon. So that's interesting. So it feels like you're clearing away blockages. You are regrounding yourself. You're learning to open up more. You're learning to open up to happiness, to joy, to wisdom, opportunities. This is so strange because pretty much we've got some very, very similar messages in all four piles. There's like these messages for the collective. Inner child healing is one of them. Listening to your intuitive inner voice is another one. And recognizing that that inner voice, when you're being guided by spirit or by angels or whatever, it will often sound like your own thoughts. It doesn't take on someone else's voice. Like 90% of the time, it just blends in with your inner monologue. So learning to trust that and not think, oh, it's just me making it up. Learning to trust that and know that it's wisdom. So those are like the repeated messages that we've been getting for everyone. Then we have the Four of Forces here, spring and autumn. So autumn is the reverse side and spring is the top side. So this is about planting. It's about getting ready for new things. It's about saying to yourself, okay, I'm opening up. I'm willing to receive. I'm emerging out of my cocoon. It's also a very strong card about creativity. So as I said before, it seems like there's a creative vibe with a lot of you guys, and that's what I'm seeing is creativity. Starting to plant the seeds of what will come in the future. So what you do now in this month will have repercussions further down the line. So either that will be positive or negative. You choose whether you're going to sow positive, happy, vibrant, creative seeds, or whether you're going to sow negative, disbelieving, you know, sad, worried seeds. Sowing the seeds of happiness or sowing the seeds of anxiety, it's up to you. Just choose how you're thinking and feeling. Watch how you're speaking and thinking in this month. Make sure that you're keeping those thoughts and those words positive so that you're not attracting negativity towards you. Joy and delight. Exactly. Open your heart to joy. Be open to that. There's a lot about opening up here in your reading. Opening up to new experiences, opening up to wisdom, opening up to opportunities and accepting them, expecting the miracles, clearing away stuck energy, moving forward. I like this as well. Be ready to serve. I don't know why I keep being drawn back to this. Maybe it's because my sun sign is Capricorn, so I really resonate with Earth. But be ready to serve. It's like there are things or talents or power that you have to help others. Maybe you're a light worker, maybe you just feel called to help others in some way, but be ready to serve. I think that's beautiful. We have Kutumi, Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. My goodness, what have we been saying about these repeated messages? Trusting your inner voice, trusting that wisdom and those gut feelings that you're going to get in August, because they are guiding you. They are telling you what needs to be done. They are telling you what is the right path to follow. You have also got this kind of serpent image in the back. So that works well with your dragons and salamanders, being the fire elementals. Wow. Trust what you know. And I love the vibrant yellow orange of this card as well. That works well with a fire elemental reading. It's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. That's interesting. And to be honest, I always find it strange that scorpions are seen as a water animal in the zodiac, because I would say that they're more fiery to me, maybe because they're venomous. But yeah, that's just what I see them as. So it's time to release negativity. Stuck energy is clearing, and keep coming back to that. And remember what I was saying about keeping your thoughts and your words positive. It's so important. So getting rid of all the negative stuff, and that's been a repeated theme as well. People pulling themselves out of situations that they know are a negative cycle, pulling themselves out of unhealthy relationships, all these kinds of things. Dealing with the past, inner child issues if you have them, childhood problems, past life situations, trauma that's hanging over from previous relationships, dealing with that and clearing it out of the way so that we can bring this beautiful rainbow energy, beautiful harvest from the autumn into your life. Really love this. And then we have an orange backed card. Now this deck, they have different colors based on the category that they're in. And what I find so interesting is in this reading, the earth element got green, the fire element got orange, water element got blue, the air element also got green. I mean, it could have gotten white, I think, but I just thought it was so interesting that it matched so well. So you have Beziehung, so that means relationship down the bottom there. So the orange backed cards are relationship cards, and it says Unabhängigkeit, so independence. And again, this very kind of fiery desert energy. This person is stepping out from situations, moving forward, even though it looks like maybe a more difficult path, it's the right path for them. They're heading out into this independence. And Kutumi was said to be a wanderer as well. Kutumi was said to be a wanderer in India who kind of learned his wisdom on his travels and through being alone. So maybe that is part of your path here at this time, is just stepping out and following the path that you're being guided to, even if it feels like it might be more difficult. I said this in another pile as well, this quote that keeps coming up while I'm doing these readings. It's a Dumbledore quote from Harry Potter. Sometimes in life we have to choose between doing what is right and what is easy, and that always stuck with me. Even as a child, it made me just realize, yes, some people are complacent and they just want an easy life, and that's not a negative thing necessarily, because sorry, filming just cut off there because someone called me on my phone. Who can blame them for wanting an easy life, really? But honestly, I think it's more important to do what is right than just what gives us a simple and easy life. So that's what I'm seeing there. Independence, pulling away from situations that have created a dependence within you, that have created an addiction or an obsession or this neediness within you, and choosing to follow your own path. So then we have exchanging gifts, number 27. Sharing gifts with someone, helping someone out, getting something in return, but not helping someone out because you want something from them, just helping someone out and then they reciprocate. Samaya Bolshaya Dierova, the biggest tree, and it says 6 of circles, which looks like a 60 to me. Yeah, standing tall, standing proud, growing strong, healthy, that's what I see there. And obviously the earth alignment there as well. And Tinyam Noga Palma. And this is 2 of circles of 20, it looks like as well. So this means like you're a little bit palm tree, and to me it just means like you're a little bit crazy or you're a little bit silly. And what I think is funny is that you've got the tree and then you've got another one, so it's like, yes, you're this great magnificent tree, but you're also a little bit funny, you're a little bit unique, and I just like it. It just got this light-hearted, funny, giggly energy about it, and I feel like you're trying to welcome that into your life in this month. Then we have the owls, number 12. This is about communication. It's also a little bit about worry. So you may be a little bit worried in this month. You may feel like maybe something's not gonna come out the way I want it to. Maybe something is kind of, you're going to have to make a decision that causes you some anxiety. There's a lovely little owl there as well. And you have house number 4, and it's the 4th house as well. So this feeling of stability, feeling of security. Home is your sanctuary. Some of you may be moving. Some of you really just concerned about your material wealth at this time, or wanting to spend time at home and with your family. That's what I'm seeing, is this feeling of stability that comes from these 2 cards. So I'm going to get your charms on top now, and then we'll do your dice. My disclaimer, as always, is if you're wearing headphones, if you have the volume turned up really loud, you might want to turn it down now, because these can be a little bit loud when I shuffle them. I know some of you really do like the sound of the charms and you turn the volume up, or you just like to listen to it anyway, but some of you do get annoyed with me and say, oh, you should have let me know because it was too loud for me. So that's my disclaimer. So group 4, fire elemental reading. What is coming up for you in August 2020? So we've got the letters T and J. T and J, that could mean something to you. It could be someone's first name, surname, a place. A random word might come to you. Don't worry if nothing comes, it might only be for some people. You've got angels watching over you at this time, and I can see an angel wing there as well, so definitely angels watching over you. And what I like is that it landed on this card about going into the desert and kind of being on your own. You've got another angel feather there, my goodness. And you have the Hand of Fatima, which protects you from all negative energies and entities. You've got a little worry thread as well there, like I was talking about the anxiety, but it's like saying you are protected as you go it alone. You are protected in your independence as you step out onto your right path. You are protected and watched over and loved and cared for. I think that's a beautiful message. We've got the anchor, again, that feeling of stability, that feeling of security. The very broken explosion. So the explosion charm means something happens quite suddenly. You might suddenly feel more secure. You might suddenly feel more grounded in this month. We've got the sunflower as well, like the sun card. Optimism, happiness, solar plexus energy, confidence in yourself. We've got the growth charm there. The downturned horseshoe, that makes me think that you've been feeling down recently, or you've been feeling as though you've had some bad luck in your life recently. We have the happy couple there. So as I said, some of you really trying to manifest love or growing closer to someone in this month. The skeleton, skeletons in the closet, things from your past being dealt with, negative things being kind of dealt with and put to bed. That seems to be across the board in this month, because it's come out in every single reading. There's been something about dealing with past issues. Also this lovely watering can that's about nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself, also maybe to do with taking care of the earth. Some of you environmentalists, recycling, eco warriors, etc. That seems to be part of your calling here. We have the thistle, which is the Scottish charm. So some of you will have a connection to Scotland through your name, surname, family history, maybe a company that you work for. That's what I'm seeing. Again, it may only be for a few people. We have I love football. Now that is about an important hobby or interest that you have, and you're kind of enjoying that in this month. And then the Hanged Man. So really thinking deeply about what it is you want to do, really thinking deeply about what is right for you in this month, you know, asking the bigger questions of yourself. Where am I going? What am I doing? What am I here for? What's my purpose? All those kinds of things. Just noticed you've got an anchor there as well. So that's a repeated symbol for you. So we have Leo there, the lion. Obviously, a lot of you will be Leos or have that in your chart. Leo is also about pride. So not letting pride stop you from asking for help, not letting pride stop you from accepting an opportunity, even if it's from someone that you would rather not accept something from. You know, don't cut your nose off to spite your face, as my mother would say. We've got the snail there, that's about slow progress, slow forward movement. Yoga and meditation, so staying grounded is very important for you in this month. The perfume bottle as well, so definitely a lot of you are feeling attracted to someone. Maybe someone is expressing that they are attracted to you. And then we have the Eiffel Tower. So that's about French connections. As I said, we've got the Scottish charm there. We've got the French one as well. People may be speaking French from France, French names, French surnames, French companies, traveling to France. It's also a romance charm though as well. Just take it how it resonates. And then we will be doing your dice now. So if you're new, I roll a 6-sided dice, and that tells us which set we're using, because I have 6 sets of dice at the moment. Probably going to get some more as well, because there's a few others that I like. So we're using number 5. That's the actions dice. And then I roll this 10-sided dice to see how many of them we're going to use. If I get a 0 or a 1, I'll roll again to try and get you some more. 3. Okay, 3. So I forgot to say as well in the introduction, so I've had to say it in every reading, but I will be doing an extended version of this reading over on my Patreon page, so if you want extra messages, go and check that out. Okay, so group 4. I'm looking at the 3 dice and thinking it's 3. Group 4, what is coming up for you in August 2020? Okay, let's see what we've got here. Okay, yeah, so we've got the person here who's kind of looking through their hands in a way. Like, they look scared, they look like they don't want to accept something, or they don't really want to see something full on. And so I feel like in this month you are afraid of something, or you're afraid to face up to something, or to take a stand and pull yourself away from a situation. As I said, that's been a very repeated theme, so it seems like it's something a lot of people have been having difficulty with, but that's what I'm seeing there, just this fear or anxiety of actually facing up to something, or being the person that makes the change, or that says no to someone. We've also got the downward turn there, so it feels again, as I was saying, that you were worried about bad luck, or you were worried that something wouldn't go well, and that's been kind of eating up at you a little bit. Some of you are also traveling southwards in this month. And then here we've got the person who's like crash landing, so it's like crashing, hang on, I'll try and focus the camera, crashing to Earth from another planet or from space. So again, coming back down to Earth with a bang. Like, I feel some of you have maybe put yourselves out, and then you've had a response that wasn't positive, or you've had some difficult experiences recently. You feel as though you've crash landed, and this is basically saying now is the time to build yourself back up and kind of deal with the aftermath of that. But you've got the lovely Temperance card telling you to come back into balance. You've got the Star card telling you to have hope for the future. You can get over this. You've survived things in the past. You're definitely going to survive this crash as well. You can pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. That's what I see for you here today. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love it if you would give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe to my channel as well if you haven't already. I would also love it if you would comment below and let me know how it resonated with you. I really love hearing about how it manages to fit your situation even though you're all going through such different experiences. I find that so interesting, and I do try to reply to as many comments as I can, because I think that's really important, that you know that I do read your comments and I do hear what you're saying. So yeah, I hope you have a great month ahead. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Also, as I was saying before, I do offer elemental readings in my Etsy shop, so if you want to book a fire elemental reading, you can do that. I use the dragon cards and some of the cards that I've used here today. So you can do that on the Etsy page. If you want to leave a tip or a small donation for this reading, feel free. I have a PayPal account linked in the description box, so thank you so much to everyone who's done that, because you really are so generous and so kind and giving. If you would like to get more messages from this reading, check out my Patreon page. We do exclusive picker cards and other kind of ad hoc spiritual stuff over there. You usually get to try things for free before I put them into the shop, when I'm starting to offer something new in the shop. Like we did that with the angel healing sessions a little while back. You also get to vote for new decks and things that we get on the channel, and there's a monthly prize draw to win a reading with me, so you might find that there's something you like over there. I also have a tarot wish list on Amazon that's in the description, so if you have a look through it and you think there's something really nice that you'd like to get for the channel, if you think it would work well with some of the decks that I already have, then feel free to send me a message or leave a comment. Let me know that you'd like to get something for me. That would be so lovely of you if you were feeling kind enough and generous enough to do that. Again, thank you so much to everyone who's donated and to all of my patrons. My Etsy page is in the channel description box as well. I will say though, if you are going to book a reading, please remember to leave me your name, your email address and your question. There's a little comments box when you complete a transaction that lets you do that, because if I don't get that, then it means I have to chase you up, which means that it usually takes longer for you to get your reading. If there's someone else involved in your question as well, then please leave their name, because I need to connect to their energy in the reading, and that's how I do it. So just remember to do that. If you're interested in any of the cards I've used today, I've put them in the description box, their names, so that you can find them easily. Thank you so much again for watching and for staying until the end, hearing me ramble on. Have a great month ahead. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care.